Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel, or welcome in if you're new. This is Channie, and today we're watching The Origin of Consciousness, How Unaware Things Become Aware by Kurzgesagt. We're doing the reaction live on Twitch at twitch.tv/chanzonia. Do join us next time. And maybe trigger warning, this might cause us existential crisis. I'm not sure, but we will find out, and you will find out by the end of the video. Let's just jump to it.
Consciousness is perhaps the biggest riddle in nature. Stripped to its core meaning,
Let me start off by asking this. When do you guys think you became conscious? Like, at what age do you think you became conscious? I personally think I became conscious at around age 2.5, maybe 3. Is it 2.5 or 3? I think 3. Yeah, I think 3. I became aware of my surroundings at the age of 3 when I was going head first into the barrier. Maybe around 3 or 2. Have memories before my brother was born, and we are 3 years apart. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, I remember like, we had like a awakening, I guess, around age of 3. Like we became, like Rinsler said, I guess, aware of our surroundings and things. Oh, you were doing kart racing, I see. YouTube comments, do let me know down below at what age you became conscious.
consciousness is what allows us to be aware both of our surroundings and of our own inner state. But thinking about consciousness has this habit of taking us round in circles. We all intuitively know what consciousness is. It's this. It's what you're experiencing here, right now. But once we try to
oh my
pinpoint just
god,
what
why
exactly
did they do
it
that?
it leaves us grasping at thin air. And not just us. Philosophers and scientists struggle to define consciousness. Different schools and ideas compete with one another, but no one has come close to figuring it out. It's unsettling to realize that we don't understand what makes us aware of ourselves and the world. In this fuzzy area, consciousness and intelligence are also related, although they are not the same.
Not the same, yeah.
We'll talk in greater depth about theories of consciousness and intelligence in other videos.
Brainiac.
Like much of what makes us human, our consciousness is likely to have evolved from less complex forms as a product of evolution by natural selection. It has probably emerged from an immense several hundred million year sequence of countless microsteps that together make up a sort of gradient of consciousness.
Pretty colors.
What was the first step on this path from the
What is
non-conscious
that?
to the basic consciousness that ultimately led to the convoluted consciousness we humans enjoy today?
Whoa. That was a crazy intro already. My head is spinning.
Take a stone. The consensus is that a stone is not conscious, though not everyone agrees even on this. Some panpsychists claim that a lump of rock may have an inner life. However, there are no real grounds for any such assumption, since stones never show behavior. Their inner life can neither be proven nor disproven. A more common starting point is with living things. A living thing, or a self, is a part of the universe that sustains itself and makes more of its kind. To do so, it needs energy. And this is where an awareness of the world comes in handy. The original function of consciousness was probably to direct a mobile self that was short of energy to a fresh supply of food. On the smaller scales of life, you don't need to be aware to find food. Trichoplax adherens, one of the simplest of all animals, moves around haphazardly. It slows down in the presence of food and speeds up.
Fun fact, trees have been recorded making noises such as screaming when being harmed. Sharks are also older than trees. Whoa. I always think trees and plants in general, they have consciousness. I mean, they literally move to the direction of the sun and stuff like that. And like you said, the noise or making sound things. So they're literally living. So surely they have, you know, consciousness.
In its absence. This is highly effective and makes the tiny creature spend more time where there is food than where there is not. But it never moves in a particular direction towards a particular target,
It
and
just
there's
moves.
no need for it to be conscious of its environment.
It just
The
exists.
first major step towards
Whoa.
consciousness was probably taken when mobile selves started to move themselves directionally, moving towards what was good for them, say food, and away from what was less good, say someone else who thought that they were
Whoa.
food. Take Dugicia tigrina, a tiny
Dugicia.
worm known for its funny face.
It looks
Sometimes
cute.
the worm is
And the
hungry,
name is cute.
and sometimes not. This means that when it moves, the worm self is not simply producing an automatic response to an external stimulus, but that its actions depend upon its inner physiological state, whether it's hungry or sated. When it's just eaten,
Hunger
the
moves
worm
the
is
world.
less energetic, but when starved for a while, it will move itself
I
in the
hungry, I
direction
move.
of tasty things.
Towards the kitchen.
It uses
make
chemoreceptors
food.
on its head to smell its environment and guide it in the direction where the scent of food is strongest. After finding and
Oh my
eating
god,
a
it's
meal,
numbing.
our worm buddy heads back to a dark, sheltered spot to digest it
To
in
take a
safety
nap.
until it's hungry again. But animals that blindly follow their sense of smell don't have a concrete objective in view. They still lack any sense of where they are heading.
Oh no.
So the next step on the ladder of consciousness is to add some perception at a distance. Like
Oh my
vision.
god, that's scary.
Vision
Did it
adds
open the eyes
context
like that?
and depth to our world. With vision comes a sense of the space we and our food exist in. It adds a whole new dimension to awareness
Not the
and is
Gojo
a huge
eyes.
step towards more familiar consciousness. An optical apparatus like an eye enables us to visualize our goal and lock onto it. But even at this stage, a self is only able to pursue its food as long as it sees it. So the next logical step needs to happen on the inside. To visualize food in its absence, for example, a self needs to create some sort of inner representation of the world. Now an animal can continue looking for food even when it escapes its
Memory and
sensory
sensory
range.
range. Okay. And then they combine
Because
them.
of this inner representation of what is relevant in the world, it can remain focused on its food and its desire to get it. Our self now exists in a world
I don't
it can
see
get.
it's like it didn't see them, but it remembered them. So it was seeking them until it found them. W's.
Familiar with. The ability to remember things has emerged. Thanks to
I have a really bad memory, bro. It's really bad. It's getting worse by the day.
memory, animals can be distracted from a pursuit for a few seconds, but quickly continue their path afterwards. A related phenomenon is called object permanence.
Oh,
This
whoa. Why? Have you seen this video?
describes our awareness that things continue to exist even when we can't see them.
Either low-key underrated, the way they change shape from predators and prey and then middle chain. Most apex predators have a narrowed up-down line and track prey better, while prey have side to side to scan the horizon. That's true. That's true. I just know what object permanence is. Oh, okay.
This cognitive skill is enjoyed by some mammals and birds, and perhaps other animals too. Human babies tend to develop this ability around the time they turn 8 months, while baby chickens show this ability within a day or two of being born.
A day or two?
The capacity to remember a thing in its absence suggests at least a basic sense of time. A sense of time is a big step on the ladder of consciousness. It may also enable a self to look forward from the present moment and anticipate the future. Adult chickens, for example, are able to resist a meal put in front of them if they expect to receive a bigger meal as a prize for holding back for a while. This sort of delayed gratification means there is an ability to visualize a reward that only exists in the future, which can be quite a challenge even for adult humans. Western scrub jays are experts in delayed gratification. They show an even more elaborate sense of the future when they hide food in a cache to retrieve it at a later date.
Later day, yeah.
The scrub jays will even re-hide their food if they become aware that a potential thief has been watching
So
them.
smart and aware.
This means that they know that there are other hungry selves out there who are aware and see the world from their own different perspective. Crafty scrub jays can sort of read the mind of their fellow birds. This ability to mind read is crucial for complex levels of consciousness. By putting yourself in the position of others, you can outsmart a rich competitor or empathize.
If we use the example of like chess players, because like in chess you kind of need to like pre-read your opponent's strategy in a sense. Does that mean that their consciousness is heightened then, since this like ability is more practiced amongst, like, you know, chess players or similar board games, or no? And also for babies, since they said that babies only develop this later on when they're like 8 months, how is it with babies remembering their parents? How is that built? Is it built on consciousness, or is that built on emotional consciousness? Like, is emotional consciousness developed first for babies in this sense, or is it just because they're aware of the mother? Because I don't know. Like, I don't know how to formulate the question I have in mind. That's more a skill and understanding of the game, not necessarily. However, it does mean that they are likely higher in intelligence, just as more prediction and attempts to guide the other player into your traps. I don't know if it could be the same as this. I see. YouTube, do let us know also in the comments. What do you think about these two questions?
With a hungry friend. Language takes the ability to read minds and represent what is absent to a whole new level. Words enable us to construct hypotheses about the world, make detailed plans, and to communicate them with others. Words enable us to think about ourselves and our place in the universe, and even about our own consciousness, which is something we'll be doing more in future videos. So, what is the origin of our consciousness? It probably began as the directed motion of a hungry self towards a source of food, with the survival benefits this gave it over competitors that moved at random or not at all. It probably all started with the urge for more food.
Gluttony.
So even with the sophisticated consciousness that allows us to dream about space, build skyscrapers, or obsess about novels, it's not surprising that we can't stop thinking about where we'll get our next meal.
Mindful eating.
Collectively, we've put so much thought and ingenuity into getting food that we can now just get our food to come to us with little conscious effort.
Yup.
This video is
automated
part
now.
1 of a 3-part video series relating to big questions of life and the universe, made possible
We should
by
watch
a
the other
grant
two
from
as
the
well.
Templeton World Charity Foundation.
Shout out to the
You can
foundation.
find our sources and further reading in the video description, or get
we have
the Consciousness
references.
book by Rupert Glasgow for free, link down below. If you want to help us make more videos, you can do so on patreon.com or get one of our posters from our shop.
Shout out Kurzgesagt. That was a really good video. In conclusion, you're not you when you're hungry. Even us back when we were just like beginning of existence. What led us to become conscious and evolve and all of that was just hunger, bro. Gluttony. We just wanted more food. How do we get more food? Get smarter to get more food. You're not you when you're hungry. That's the conclusion here. Well, part of the conclusion here. But that was a really good video. It got me thinking a little bit, especially with the memory aspect, because I'm like, consciousness can be many things too. You can be like aware of your surroundings, like they said. You can be aware of your needs, aware of your emotions, and all these other things. It was quite interesting. But do let me know in the comments, what do you think? And also, when do you think you became conscious? If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, YouTube.